In 2014, Rolf Harris's life and career came to a shocking end when he was convicted of 12 counts of indecent assault on 4 young girls from the 1960s to the 1980s. One of his victims was his daughter's best friend, whom he had groomed and abused since he was sentenced to 5 years and 9 months in prison, but was released on parole, and the trial revealed the dark side of the entertainer who had been a household name for decades. He had been a popular TV presenter, musician and painter, who had performed for the Queen and at Glastonbury. He had also invented the wobble board and introduced the didgeridoo to British audiences. But behind his cheerful persona, he was a serial predator who used his fame and power to prey on vulnerable girls and young women. He denied all the charges against him, but the jury found him guilty after hearing harrowing testimonies from his victims and witnesses. He showed no remorse or empathy for his actions, and even wrote a song mocking his accusers while in prison. The conviction stripped him of his honors and reputation. He was shunned by the public and the media, and his paintings lost their value. He spent his last years in isolation and ill health, until he died of neck cancer in 2023 at the age of. Rolf Harris went from being a beloved children's entertainer to a convicted sex offender, leaving behind a legacy of shame and betrayal. Rolf Harris was once a beloved children's entertainer, but his reputation and legacy were destroyed by the revelations of his sexual abuse. He was convicted of 12 indecent assaults in 2014, involving 4 female victims aged between 8 and 19 at the time of the offenses. One of them was his daughter's friend, who he abused for 16 years. He was sentenced to 5 years and 9 months in prison, but was released in 2017 after serving less than half of his term. Harris's crimes came to light after the scandal of another British TV star, Jimmy Savile, who was accused of hundreds of cases of sexual abuse after his death. In Savile's victims ranged from children to adults, and he abused them in various settings, including hospitals and BBC studios. His case sparked a nationwide investigation into historical sexual abuse allegations, known as Operation Yewtree. Harris was arrested as part of this operation in 2012, along with other celebrities such as Gary Glitter and Max Clifford. The shocking truth about Harris and Savile shattered the trust and admiration that millions of people had for them. They were seen as icons of British culture and entertainment, but they turned out to be predators who used their fame and power to exploit and harm their victims. Their cases also raised questions about how they were able to get away with their crimes for so long, and whether the BBC and other institutions failed to protect their employees and guests from abuse. The impact of their scandals is still felt today, as more survivors come forward to seek justice and closure.